Hello and welcome everyone to today's stream. Let me get the music going. Some music to start with. Alrighty. I'll start sorting in a little bit. Let's just see how many people start rolling in now that it's 8:30. Hopefully this is an okay time too. I was thinking about doing this later today because around noon I'm doing some family stuff. Or I would have streamed this a little later. Hopefully we have a good turnout, seeing how this is the first stream in a while. Got a lot of things I can talk about, and we have some good sorting we can do today because I got some more Acro Mill containers recently and some more Sterilite containers, so there's more things I can sort without having to just go through a bunch of bags. So I'm super excited. Hopefully the stream works out okay. OBS was giving me a couple of issues before the stream started, so hopefully that's taken care of and won't break. Also, the camera's in a different angle this time. I'm experimenting with a different camera angle now that I've reshuffled my table. My table, I flipped 180 degrees the other day, so I'm using the other side of the table now. Hopefully that gives me more ability to do more stuff. So far it has. So far my containers are positioned in a better way this time around than they were before. The issue is just some of them are will have the tendency to fall if this table shakes too much, but hopefully that doesn't happen. Yeah. How is everyone in chat doing today? Hope you're all doing well. If you have any topics you want to talk about, let me know. Feel free to just start asking away. Hopefully like I said, hopefully we have a decent amount of people who show up. I wasn't able to promote the stream too much in the Discord servers just because of the way that my streaming setup is. It's hard for me to promote in the Discords unless I get everything set up beforehand. And this time I did not get everything set up beforehand, so that was a thing. Yeah. I'm tempted to get my time mauler down too, just so I have something to mess with whenever I'm chatting and not actually sorting, but... Oh, did the stream stroke out there for a second? I just got a warning from OBS. Hopefully it's back. I guess we're listening to classical now. I think that's classical. Alrighty, well, I'll get started on sorting. Hopefully the stream's doing okay. Let me know, chat, if it's back or not. Hopefully the sorting isn't too loud too. I don't want the microphone picking it up too much. But today is going to be a lot of looked like Technic, plates, and other stuff. I tried picking a container to start with that actually had stuff that could be sorted easily, so hopefully that works. Stream is fine? Okay, good. Yeah, for whatever reason, I know I haven't streamed in a while, so my OBS is a few versions behind. Like, when I booted it up today, it asked me if I wanted to update, and I said no. Just because I booted up the OBS like a couple minutes before I was supposed to start streaming, so I didn't want to have OBS like forget all my settings somehow right before the stream. She was there. Oh well, maybe it's just a thing on my end. Who knows? Now that I know it's going to be a thing, I will definitely update OBS after the stream is over. But I'm glad to finally be sorting out some of these Technic parts, because I don't know how many I have, but I need, is it 8? Yeah, 8 number 11 lift arm Technic beams. So like these. If this is an 11, this is what I need. I need 8 of them because I recently recreated the complete Saga homing spider droid, the one that you fight in the game. Although in the vanilla game, base game of TCS, they're like super small because you only ever fight them when you're flying around in the gunship, right? So I found some footage of a guy who was playing a custom TCS mod that added a custom Geonosis level, and in that level the mod author had created a ground base mission for Geonosis, so I was able to better see the homing spider droid and the Hellfire droid in that game. And I used screenshots from that video to help me rebuild those. And they're both done. The issue specifically with the Hellfire droid is there's no wheel small enough, or not necessarily small enough, but there's no wheel the correct size for it to work. And an issue is I don't know what the underside of the Lego Hellfire droid looks like in that game. Even from the screenshots in the mod, it's really hard to tell. So it still has a few things I need to tweak on it. But it's essentially done. It's mainly just the wheels. So I'm not going to release instructions for that because I feel bad because I don't have wheels. And I really don't want to spend my time right now custom making wheels. Although now that I say that, I could use probably Bricklink's part designer, import the wheels from the UCS Hellfire droid from like 2002, 2003, that big Technic one, and then just downsize the wheels on that thing. But I'm not sure. Welcome to the stream, Mall Loyalist. It's been so long since I've seen you how that username. But welcome to the stream, my guy. How are you doing today? Oh, I just realized the container I have all the stuff in is blocking like where I'm putting stuff. There we go. Now you'll actually be able to see what I'm doing. Yeah, welcome to the stream. But the homing spider droid's done. I just need to spend the time making sure everything works. As in, like, the instructions don't tell you to put a part on after it's already too late to put the part on, like some of my instructions. It took me a second. It took me a second, Maul, to recognize the name. Oh man, I don't know why OBS is disconnecting all the time. It's so dumb. But yeah, the homing spider droid in TCS is actually pretty interesting. It doesn't have an eye unit, like they didn't design it to have an actual eye. It also has these dark red accents on the corners of the ball, if the ball had corners, because obviously it's a Lego thing, so it kind of had corners. And the parts that they use to connect the legs to the body don't actually exist as a physical Lego part. So that's why I have to use these thick lift arms, because the piece I would use, there's not too much else to build from TCS that hasn't already been built. I know there's a person who's already rebuilt, who's already constructed and has instructions for sale for the MTT and the ATST that show up in that game. I don't know, chat. Are there any other vehicles or droids in TCS that could be recreated? Obviously there's a bunch of like the turrets and lasers and stuff, but I'm not too interested in constructing those. I just realized after I moved this in the frame, I moved it out of frame. If you're curious about the stuff in the corner, I'll talk about it, but it's all good. Yeah. But I've been pretty busy. I know I haven't been posting a whole lot, especially YouTube wise. That YouTube wise, video wise, is mainly just because I've been a little slow. I do actually have a decent amount of stuff recorded. I just need to spend the time to edit it and upload it. Stream wise, I just haven't had the time because I've been busy designing stuff. But I've been spending I spent pretty much the last half of June and this portion of July designing stuff. I have a decent amount of TIE fighters. If you've checked out my Rebrickable any time recently, you'll see some of the hard work from that. Decent amount of TIE fighters, also a few CIS stuff here and there. I'm hoping to do some Republic stuff too. The issue is just there's not a lot I can use. Like, I started an ATOT in classic style, but I stopped working on it just because I found it too difficult at the time. Just because there's no ATOT from that time period. The best I have to work with is the ATTE, and I guess the other walkers from that time period. Although Republic-wise, there's only the ATTE set from 2003. But I was actually having an alright time with it. I found the legs to actually be the easiest part, mainly because I could take elements of the ATTE from 2003 and use those for the legs for the ATOT. It's the body and the head of the ATOT that I got stumped on. Trying to make sure that everything was connected, but also still had the feel of a classic era set. And then I was running into issues there, so I stopped doing that. I just realized there's not as many plates in this container as I thought, so that's gonna be fun. I know I put a hinge. There it is. The piles are starting to get a little too small. Yeah, chat, any of you guys working on any projects? Any builds? I know there's a few mock contests going on at the moment. Thrawn's Revenge, my buddy, is doing a mock contest with a twist. If I don't remember all the specifics of the rules, so if you're interested in participating in his mock contest, feel free to go check it out in the either on the YouTube announcement video he has, or the combined Discord that him and I share. But he has a challenge where you get 30 pieces and your goal is to try and make a custom droid or vehicle of your own imagining that you feel like would fit in the Star Wars universe. And then I saw that Coconut just promoted Brick Mad Sam, I believe is the channel, and they're also doing a mock contest where they have like pretty decent prizes for the winners. I don't know why I struggled saying that. But yeah. You need the sword so bad. Same. I realized as I was building my physical prototypes of my TIE fighters and stuff that yeah, I need the sword again. I'm starting to go crazy trying to find this piece that I know I have, but I can't find it anywhere because it's just in some random container. Instead of being in the specific spot that I've designated. Working on Utapau? Nice. What part of Utapau are you doing, Maul? Need to take apart a few MOCs. I'm starting to get to that point too. I still have that Cantina band mock that I made a while ago and made a couple of videos on. Still around. I took all the biths off of it, but it's still just around. I've only had to take one plate from it, and that was just from the black border. I needed a black plate for something, and then I think I've already disassembled what I needed that for. So, are you doing the city? Nice. Are you gonna have any Utapauans? Gonna start an army of Grand Inquisitors. We're working on a gunship and a small Kashyyyk mock. Nice. Which I'm assuming the Republic gunship, right? That's a good one. It's nice to see that one has gained popularity as far as mock building is concerned. Yeah, the Republic one. Nice. Yeah, recently. There's There's only a couple left, but they're giving me some issues. So I switched over to working on shuttles, Imperial shuttle stuff for the time being. So I recreated the Lambda shuttle from 2001, that set, and also the Sentinel from 2007. Recreated that and modified it to have, I don't know if it has the feeling of a classic set at the moment. It uses classic parts, but it just feels a little weird, so I need to go and tweak that one some more. But then I start building some of the other shuttles that are based off the Lambda. So yesterday I was also working on the MU class shuttle, specifically the Canon one, because that's the one that actually has an image. And that one's interesting. The MU class in Canon is essentially the Lambda, but without the top wing, and the side wings, when it's landed, the tips of the side wings actually fold in, or rather, I guess, fold out on itself. And when it's in flight mode, then they reconnect and are just a straight line. It's interesting. The other thing I found weird about the MU class is the classification of armor. Have just a mining laser. It still has the laser cannons that the Lambda does on the front, right next to where the pilot sit. So it clearly still has more than just a mining laser, which I found was funny. That they were like, "Nah, it just has a mining laser." It's like, no, there's no way. And they added guns to the tips of the wings too, and I'm like, those are clearly guns. What else would those be? And then the last thing I was working on yesterday is called the Yi-4 gunship, YE-4. It's essentially the Lambda class body, but the body has been widened. And instead of having 3 wings, it has 2 wings, and they are parallel, and they go up and, they go vertical through the body. So there's no 2 side wings. It's just 1 wing on top and 1 wing on the bottom. And that one I'm still working on, because there's just the sizing of it just feels a little weird. Oh, and I also worked on the T5 Deliverance shuttle, which is from that Star Wars Commander game that's no longer around. And it's apparently a medical Lambda carrier shuttle thing. It's not, I don't even know if you can really call it a shuttle though, because it doesn't carry people from what I remember. It's essentially just a cargo transport, but for medical supplies. And in the game, apparently, you use it to, like, drop health or something on different units or something. Yeah, it was weird. You're gonna need some more CAC 212th and Airborns. Yeah. Bricklink a few Inquisitor heads. Yeah, good luck with that. Although now that the Kenobi series is over, I wonder if those prices are starting to come back down again. I think they have. Last I looked, or maybe it's just because some of the secondhand shops I went to recently on my family vacation back in June, some of the Inquisitors were actually on the cheaper end, at least for the time. Like, they were closer to $50 instead of $100. So it's still a Lambda. So still imagine a Lambda shuttle, but the passenger area, strip that out and instead just put like a little hook, like some hooks, and then put some massive crates. And then that's the T5. So where passengers would sit instead, it's just a massive crate area. That the I don't know if it can actually do it, because I haven't actually seen any clips. All I saw were images, but it really looked like it would just like go somewhere and then drop crates from the sky, basically. And it would just drop the crates. Kind of like the episode of TCW with Captain Keeley and his guys, when the blockade runners finally show up and they just start launching all these pods with the food and crap. Something like that is what I imagine the T5 does. I also just find it weird because it's supposed to be for the Empire, and the Empire that I know doesn't really care about its soldiers. So the fact that there's a medical shuttle like that just kind of surprises me. But I guess they needed something for the game, right? To make it balanced. So I'm assuming the shuttle is mainly just a gameplay mechanic. Is a result of a gameplay mechanic and not actually a thing. I mean, obviously because it's in the game, it became part of the lore, but it's just like, this feels like necessity due to gameplay mechanics. Yeah, that's probably a better way of putting it, Neon. Is yeah, it's like the Republic gunship, which is like the Republic gunship, the LAT, but just without the passenger bay, so it can pick up stuff. So yeah, imagine a Lambda, but it's like a Republic dropship. And instead of picking up vehicles, although I'm going to also probably claim that the T5 can pick up vehicles, because I think that's also beneficial. Especially because of the way it's set up, the only way you really know it's a medical frigate is the logo. That's on the top fin, but I don't have that logo on the top fin at the moment because I'd have to custom a sticker. So I may also have it so my T5 can also pick up vehicles. Which if it can, I'm having it pick up the TIE Mauler because I just love the TIE Mauler for some reason these days. After building my physical prototype, I just love the TIE Mauler. It's just so much fun to play with. Does it cover dental? I don't think they would need to, because I think you'd die before you would need to worry about your teeth. Oh, hey, welcome back, or welcome to the stream, Regular Bricks. I almost missed you there. Yeah, a surprise to be sure. Thanks, man. Yeah, I finally got around to getting my table set up again to do streams. Super excited. I don't know if if they'll happen that often, like they used to be, but I'll definitely try to have them happen more often. Same with YouTube videos. I still got more videos in the works. I'm just slow. I'm just slow at editing. But yeah, those are the things I've been working on recently digitally. I have a bunch of like I mentioned, I have a bunch of TIE Fighter designs. There's at least one more TIE Fighter design I can actually release. I just have to decide if I want to release the whole TIE Fighter design, or if I want to just release the part that I actually designed. Because it's essentially just a modded 2001 TIE Fighter set with some additional stuff off the back. And I gotta be careful with how I describe my stuff on Rebrickable to make sure I'm not breaking any of the rules. So I don't know what I'm gonna do there. I'm leaning towards just releasing the part that I actually put the most effort into, because the TIE Fighter part, there's not too many mods. It's not modded enough to my liking for me to call it a whole MOC. But the part specifically that this whole TIE Fighter is based on, that I did actually design, that part I would consider a MOC, but we'll see. We'll see what I do there. That's the reason that one hasn't been released yet, because I just haven't figured out what I want to do with it. And then there's a few other TIE Fighters that I could release. I just haven't made physical prototypes of them yet, so I'm a little worried to release instruction for them and then have it come back of, hey, this thing doesn't actually work. These parts are clipping. How did you not notice this? And I'd just be like, I made this in like 10 minutes. Don't hurt me. These piles are starting to get so big, I'm mixing them up and starting to put parts in the wrong spots. or making apparently additional piles that don't need to exist. Nice. So, what is the deal with the new LEGO ATTE getting updated on the website from August 1st to coming soon? First of all, did that actually happen? Because sometimes when I hear this quote-unquote LEGO drama, I always question if it's actually real. Second of all, if that actually did happen, what is the big deal about it? It's not like it's the first time stuff has been delayed. So it did actually happen? Okay. It's not the first time it happened. I feel like people are forgetting that it happened back in 2022 with the 501st set and the AAT set. I'm pretty sure those ones were also first set August 1st and then it said delayed. It may just be more acceptable back then because, you know, the global pandemic was still I was about to say still a thing, but it still is a thing today. I just at a much smaller scale. So that might be the reason why there's outrage, quote unquote, just because it's a little less acceptable in the eyes of people, I guess, for there to still be delays, even though it should still be acceptable. Things are still not back to what they were. Although I did hear, apparently LEGO is pushing to make a factory here in the United States. Yeah, it also happened to the clone accessory packs too. I think it's pretty much happened to every Star Wars wave since the pandemic. So, hey, what's up, Noel? Welcome to the stream, guy. They didn't explain why. No, no Christmas music. I think I finally purged it all. There might still be a couple of outliers, but I think it's all gone now, finally. Did they ever explain why the other ones were delayed then, Maul? Because I don't remember ever hearing an official reason why the other ones were delayed. I just came up with an assumption, I guess, and it was a pretty plausible assumption. Let me get one of my brick separators. I got a pin stuck in a brick. Let's see. Do I already have a pile for this one? No, I don't. Neat. Alrighty. Let me know what you find out, Mole. Yeah, I just find it interesting. It kind of feels like people are getting upset over nothing. There are a few instances where I can think of where having a product delayed obviously would negatively affect the consumers, but for the most part, with it being delayed, it's just a couple of days. It's just the negative impact that I see the most is just time. Waiting, but that shouldn't cause the amount of negativity that it seems to be causing. So I think some people are just upset, a little too upset for nothing, basically. We'll see. But yeah, the new ATTE set, it was interesting. I was listening to the Coconut stream yesterday when he was talking to SolidWorks, and hearing all that information coming out of SolidWorks was pretty neat to learn about, mainly more about how LAN works and how, and just putting into perspective just how ginormous the LEGO group is, that multiple different departments can contact the YouTuber. And the different departments not necessarily being related to each other. So another department not related to LAN contacting the YouTubers to do stuff, like apparently SolidBricks and the Daro mock. It was also interesting to learn kind of the reasoning, or at least the speculation, as to why the ATTE set does not have a crab droid, but instead has the dwarf spider droid. Which makes sense. Like, yeah, if they... It also just makes me beg the question. So they went through all that process of obviously doing all their safety standards, all their focus testing with the kids and all that, but it's just like they went through all that, but they didn't realize until public outreach that people would have wanted a crab droid. It kind of just makes me feel like when's, I don't know, this might be a bit harsh, but like when's the last time the Lego Star Wars designers watched the films? They could have watched the films and been like, oh, there's no spider droid here. It's only crab droids. Let's design a spider droid or a crab droid. So that's what first came to mind when listening to Solid Bricks give his speculation. It was also like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. They probably went through all the development stuff and then we're like, oh, people want this. Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll do it next time then. Do the shipping problems? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Coconut talked with Solid Bricks on his stream yesterday. I happened to show up, I think halfway through their conversation yesterday. And apparently the way it went down, don't quote me on this, but it was just like Solid Bricks asked to be on the stream whenever Coconut had been streaming for a little bit, and Coconut was like, okay, sure, I'll let you on. And then he had to figure out how to let another streamer on. I had to let another person on with using Streamlabs. Is it Streamlabs? Streamlabs. That I think that's the name of the one that Coconut uses. StreamYards is the one with the icon as a duck, right? So that's the one that actually really lets you have other people join your stream, but Streamlabs doesn't really. So yeah. Not necessarily, no. From what it sounded like, Solid Brick's speculation was just they went through the whole process of making the Lego set, all their safety standards and all their focused marketing and all that with testing and stuff. But apparently, it just kind of sounded like they didn't realize the crab droid would have been popular enough until the set had been officially announced, and people were like, "Where's the crab droid? Why'd you do a crab droid instead? Why'd you do a spider droid instead of a crab droid? There weren't even spider droids there." And then they were like, "Oh, maybe we should have done a crab droid." That's the general gist I got from Solid Brick's speculation. Who knows what the actual truth is? But yeah, it was just interesting to learn more about LAN, the LAN network and all that stuff. Because of the new policy that I guess it's not necessarily a new policy, but their new announcement about custom minifigures and stuff like that, I don't know if, even if I ever got that big, I would join LAN, just because I really like my custom minifigures. Lego doesn't make a lot of the figures I want. So I would, and then if I were to join LAN, I assume, at least from the wording that they had in that announcement, of I wouldn't be able to use those figures in anything. So that puts a damper. Although, getting free Legos is pretty nice. And from what it sounds like, from what Solid Bricks was saying, is their policy for what the YouTuber promoting the product, they have, and doing the reviews, they have a lot of freedom as to what they can actually say about the product and stuff, which makes sense. Or I get, not right, that doesn't make sense, that's not the right phrasing. It's interesting that they would let that be as open-ended as Solid Bricks made it seem. Because I've heard instances of other people, when promoting their stuff, that they have a script, basically, that they have to read. I don't think that's that common as it was, but it is still just interesting that LEGO lets that amount of freedom in the promotions. Welcome to the stream, Bup. How you doing? Streamlabs OBS, yeah. Wish it was a crab droid. I think it would have been more interesting of a set if it was a crab droid. It would have been the first one Lego has ever done. Ones back in the Kashyyyk AT-AP sets. Was it a stud shooter or was it a full-on spring-loaded shooter? I'm glad they got rid of that from the spider droid, because that was just, it just made the spider droid look ugly with this massive spring-loaded shooter or stud shooter on it, on its gun. It was like, oh, this is horrendous. Glad that's gone. Nice. Join the Discord, Mall. Do it. I think I have a link to it in my description of the stream. Or on, it's at least on my videos. Nice. There's some good stuff. At least on my end of the Discord, you can see a lot of, whenever I do actually post, you can see some of the work in progress stuff that I've been working on. And just general chatting. The other people who are in that server is Noel. Noel has his own core. Thrawn's Revenge is in there and he has his own core, and you can see a bunch of his work in progress and all that. Mike and Nike is in there, and Will Brick Productions is in there as well. So if you know of any of those guys and they sound interesting to you, feel free to check out their cores too. Ah, there's the pile for that one. Nice. Let me know if anything seems confusing about the server. We're still tweaking things here and there to make it make more sense. Do I have this in a pile already? I do not. Okay. Technically, he still is a part of it, Noel. But yes, Will does not use it nearly as much as the rest of us do. Man still only has like 2 channels. I really want to start making my physical prototypes out of the colors they're supposed to be. The issue is I'm afraid to use the old grays that I have in case they break. So, you've probably noticed it if you've paid close enough attention to the videos that I have my prototypes in. Like, I'm using all new gray colors, and that's the reason. One, I just don't have that many of the old colors yet, currently. As I finalize stuff, I would like to start buying the old colors. But I mainly just don't want them to break. Especially like the old brown. Some of my designs, like that Vulture Droid. That one's not my design, that's just a set, but it uses the old brown, and I'm afraid that I'll touch it and the brown will break. So I don't want that to happen. But once a design is actually like done, I want to go back and actually build it in the colors that I want it to be in. Ah, there's the pile for that one. Yeah, I set them up. Yeah. If you guys realize I started sorting slower, I just did. It's so good to have these back. I had these in some mock, and then I needed them for something else, and then I had to use a lot of substitutions, and that was really annoying. I don't even know if you saw what I did, because I did that so quickly. It's that 1x2 brick, 1x2 by 2.5 brick with studs on the side. I just realized the other day that specific modified brick is actually shorter than the 1x2x2 brick. I never realized that, but it makes sense because of the way that has to work for the studs to actually connect the stuff on the sides. Yeah, also being able to just sort out all this Technic stuff is going to be good, because I have a feeling at some point I'm going to have to be using a decent amount of Technic for a mock. I want to, at some point, build like a Venator bridge or an ISD bridge in classic style, which I feel like is going to end up using a lot of Technic just to make sure everything works. Because I do have a decent amount of Imperial officers who I then will just claim to also be Republic officers at some point. And I want to just have that scene of like the cameras at the back of the bridge, so it's like in the elevator, and you just kind of like are looking into the room, and you can see like kind of like that scene of, was it in Rogue One or is it in Kenobi where there's that scene of Vader just looking out into hyperspace as they're going about? I can't remember, but kind of recreate a couple of the scenes that we've seen so far with the different capital ship bridges. Okay, I guess I don't have a pile for this gear. That was also the main reason I went on the rant, was trying to figure out where that gear was supposed to go. Yeah. Besides doing all these TIE fighters and stuff when I was on my family vacation, that was the idea that came to mind that I was super hyped for, and I just haven't gone to it yet. Was building a Venator bridge mock. Oh, there they are. The nice thing too is I think all the non-Technic pieces on here do have a container. The issue is I just gotta remember where. where to put them. Oh, thanks for the follow, Nyan. One day I'll say the name right. One day. I should probably actually take another photo of another minifigure here soon too. If I claim that series on Instagram is coming back, I should probably actually like take photos. I gotta figure out who's next. I think it was an animated P1, right? So I'll probably do an ARF Trooper. ARF Trooper, or no, I actually have the next one lined up. After the one I have lined up, I will do an ARF Trooper. I just gotta spend the time to actually make the post. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I have a spot for this. Yeah, there it is. I guess I should probably start making my piles out more this way, because I actually have space that way. I should stop trying to go closer to me. Yeah, I asked this a little bit ago, but chat, any of you guys working on anything? I know the people who were here before, who heard that question, already told me what they were working on, but everyone who's new who hadn't heard that question, what are you guys working on? As you can tell, I'm clearly doing this. I might work on... I'll probably actually just work on actually making the YouTube videos and stuff later today. That's what I should work on. Are you talking about the most recent Lambda shuttle, Noel? Is that's a Stormtrooper Corps officer in that set with the black uniform? Or are you talking about a different Lambda set? The new one? Okay. I didn't know that was a Stormtrooper officer. Huh. Just building interior area. Nice, Buff. I feel you, Maul. That's like my big issues. I have stuff I want to show. It's just spending the time to make sure that the video themselves are at a quality that I would actually want to promote. Black is Stormtrooper Corps / ground combat officers. What do Imperial pilots wear then? Besides, like, obviously TIE Fighter pilots are all black, but they have that helmet. What do just, like, Lambda class shuttle pilots wear? This music? Yeah, I think it just switched to, like, mariachi style music, right? Yeah. The playlist I have put together on Nightbot is, strange to say the least, because it's just a bunch of different genres. Because I'm one of those people who doesn't care about the genre. If it's a good song, I'll listen to it. So it's just a bunch of stuff. I wasn't paying attention one time too, and I accidentally added a bunch of holiday-specific music, so Christmas music, and I think there was a few other holidays mixed in there too. Yeah, I had to take care of this. Although, I really do like Halloween music any time in the year, so if any of that comes on, I'm not changing it. unless it's just a dumb song. Wear all black officer uniforms. That's what I thought too, but they actually wear gray uniforms? No? Interesting. Does that mean LEGO's been doing it wrong this whole time? Because the 2001 Lambda shuttle set that I have, the pilot in that set wears a black uniform. I say that like I actually got the pilot in the same set. I actually got them at 2 different secondhand stores. The one, I just got the shuttle, and the other one, I saw the pilot, I'm like, oh, hey, I need that for my shuttle. That was nice. Too bad that store only had the one. It would have been nice to have gotten 2 of the pilots. But it's okay, I made up for that, and I ended up finding a lot of the old classic style gray officers, who are apparently all lieutenants because of the badge they wear. From what I remember from when I spot somewhere. Do I? Oh no, OBS. Stop being dumb. Stop disconnecting me for some reason. Oh, that one's in the wrong spot. I had a spot for this. Or did I put... No, I just put this one in the wrong spot. Ah, I see. Set the blind man. Army has stark gray tunics with black trousers. Navy has more of an olive gray. And then certain ones have more of a tan gray. Tan gray as in like the officer uniforms we see in Rebels? Like that tan? Or not that tan? Which one is better, Wolfpack or Tube 12? It's funny, now that you mentioned that, I just got reminded. I saw a post the other day on Instagram where it showed a lot of the Wolfpack scenes and like what they were used for, and apparently, I forgot about this, they mostly show up in TCW as a rescue unit. After getting almost annihilated in their first appearance in the show, the rest of the scenes they're in, they're usually doing rescue missions. So they have that one where they go rescue Obi-Wan and Mace. Then they go rescue the Heroes people. Then they go and rescue Adi Gali. I think that's her name. That one Jedi. And then they go and save... They just go around and do rescue missions all the time, apparently. So I would go with 212. Just because I'm not that interested in rescue missions. At least not that often. A rescue mission here and there is pretty cool, but their like only job is to go do rescue missions. Off-brand superhero music. The Marine Corps pilots are considered naval aviators. Oh, they wear sunglasses too. What about the assault on Fallujah? Oh, I guess that's true, right? They were. Well, no, they were in the skies. So that's why I forgot about that. Because yeah, they were the They were the aerial support. Air support. I don't know why I said aerial, but yeah, I forgot about that. You know what's interesting also about that Battle of Fallujah? That Juggernaut is unique because a Juggernaut typically does not have a gunner on top, exposed. They're usually in the insides, and that turret makes a unique sound. When that gunner is shooting that turret with Ahsoka next to him, that turret makes a unique sound. I actually really like the way that turret sounds. But it's just weird because Juggernauts are not supposed to have a dude on top like that. That's usually like, what are they? They're usually either automated or the gunner's on the inside. Do I not? I do have a spot for that. I'm just blind. Oh, you know, I just realized I haven't looked at this. I haven't looked at chat yet, but you were talking about the other Battle of Fallujah, right? The one where Ahsoka gets kidnapped. They had jetpacks. Yeah, you were talking about the other Battle of Fallujah. Never mind. Although the Juggernaut, I still wanted to say that about the Juggernaut. I forgot about that one too. See, because it gets overshadowed by the whole point of that episode is to set up the Ahsoka kidnapped arc. So I do forget that was actually supposed to be the Battle of Fallujah. What is it, the second Battle of Fallujah at that point? Oh, that's what that noise was, Noel? Okay, I heard it. I'll look at it later though. Cause that'll be good. I need more information like that. Cause I showed off in the work in progress video where I had the TIE Mauler. Yeah. Having more Imperial officers and just troopers is gonna be nice. When that battle pack back in 2011 first came out, I was like, why did they include this officer guy? But now that I'm actually using it for a different purpose, I actually want to get a couple more. Because I only have 2 in that dark gray color. I have a decent amount in the light gray color, but the printing for their uniform doesn't quite match the one I wanted. Only the dark gray one really matches. Because it's basically the General Veers printing. So I basically have to buy a bunch of the nondescript General Veers characters that LEGO has made. Do I not have a pile? No, I do have a pile for the small bush. They wear breeches? Oh. Those are like the puffy pants, right? I've already been going for an hour and I haven't finished doing this container. I thought I was gonna breeze through this stuff. That's what I get for stopping and talking a lot. But it's all good. I'm seeing a lot of parts I'm gonna need in the future, especially for the homing spider droid. I'm gonna need utilize a lot of these parts to test that one. First Battle of Fallujah, they were in P1 uniform. Yeah, I think, yeah, during the Ahsoka kidnapped arc, they were still wearing P1 in that. And then I think that's technically the second battle, because I think the one that had the Juggernaut, even though they were the air unit, the air support, they were still there. And I think that was actually the first Battle of Fallujah, at least in canon. Okay, I'm skipping this one. It just sounds like elevator music and I don't want to listen to that right now. What is this one even called? Oh yeah, okay. We're skipping that. Ah, here we go. When did the second battle start? After the first one. Yes. Breaches end. Breaches end just below the knee, and they're historically the leg wear of choice. Okay. So that's what we mostly is that what we mostly see them wear in the films, Noel? Then is that what they're mostly wearing? Except for Tarkin, because you never see his feet, because he's actually wearing slippers the whole time. Because the boots oh, I forget the actor's name, but they made his feet hurt. So they just didn't show his feet, and he's wearing slippers the whole time. It's so funny to go back and rewatch the original trilogy and realize that, like, the whole story of Star Wars could be summed up in that one movie. Because it was designed that way, that if the movie flopped, the story could just be contained within that one movie. So Vader's not really even, like, the main, and he's not even, like, well, I guess he is somewhat of a main character, but he's not, like, the main antagonist. It's Tarkin. And then 5 and 6 flesh it out and actually make Vader the central character. And then obviously the prequels expand upon that too and make Anakin Vader the central character to all of it. But no, New Hope, it's just Tarkin and Luke. Yeah, just those two. Yes. I don't know what spats are, but okay. I guess that's just a type of boot, right? Interesting. Knowledge. Yes, Peter Cushing is the actor I'm thinking of. Do I have a spot for jumper plates? Yes, I do. I do not have a spot for that type of axle. Okay. They go over the shoes? Oh. Interesting. Doing a quick scan over to make sure I didn't make too many unnecessary piles. So far it looks like I made 2 unnecessary piles. Make that 3. Oh, 3. But possibly 4? I swear I have a 1x2 in the a 1x2 brick in the wrong spot, but now I don't know where that is. I guess I don't. Okay. Okay, but it was 4 because I had a pile there, and this 2x2 brick. I guess it's fine there. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks for the picture. I'll look at it after the stream. Because, yeah, I would like to expand my Imperial army. I mean, I'd love to expand all my armies, but at the moment, specifically the Imperial and the Republic armies. Which is funny, I say that because I haven't actually been designing a whole lot of Republic stuff anyway. I've been designing more Imperial and CIS stuff. I find those to be the easier ones to go with at the moment. Okay, that one's in a different pile. This one is in a pile. Oh, do I have a pile for this turntable piece yet? Yes, I do. It's all the way over there. And this one's in the wrong spot, too. CIS vehicles are overpowered by the, or overshadowed by the Imperial. Yeah. Oh, what ship was it the other day? There was I was having a Discord stream. I was chatting to people. I think it was in that stream. We're chatting and we discovered a Imperial vehicle at like the beginning of the Galactic Empire's reign. So like right Actually, was it at the height? It was in between the time frame of Episode 3 and A New Hope, so kind of in like the lull where the Galactic Empire is the major power. I mean, it still is in A New Hope too, but in between that, before the Rebels really have a chance, we found an Imperial. Was it a cruiser? Was it a frigate? It was something. Maybe it was even a capital ship. I can't remember. But its whole purpose was to go and fight other capital ships. And I was like, why? Why do they have this? No one else has capital ships. And the only conclusion we really came up with is like, well, I guess CIS holdouts or maybe even pirates, if they had the chance, would still have Providence class or any of the other what would be considered CIS capital ships around. So I guess the Empire would probably need a capital fighting ship for those. But that would be like the end of the Clone Wars when they're doing their sweep of the galaxy to get rid of all the CIS holdouts. And this Imperial vehicle, this Imperial starship was around later than that. I was like, there's no need for this. I don't remember exactly what it was, Noel. It might have been a dreadnought. Which ships were that, Noel? Which CIS ships are bigger than an ISD? Is it the Bulwark? Is that one bigger? I like how I only know that one because of all the bigger than ISD. Do I not have a spot for this one? Oh, okay. Time to make a new pawn. What's a Providence 2K? Is that like a beefed up version of a normal Providence? Is that the Providence's big brother? Which obviously means those are ships too big for me to make in Lego unless I made them at micro scale, because yeah, it would be humongous. Oh, did it? Okay. Which one do we see in the movies? Is it the 1K? Because it has a similar length as a Venator. The invisible hands of 1K, okay. That makes sense. The one downside, on a different topic, the one downside of me doing all these classic style designs is there's a lot of pieces I have in my collection I haven't used in a while. Like these newer pieces. I remember getting these in like Force Awakens sets, but these newer like 3x3 pieces I can't use because they're too new. It has been interesting to use a bunch of these ball turret pieces because those existed. They actually specifically designed those for the Republic gunship and the ATTE sets back in 2002. And I think even the Geonosian fighter set from that year too also had that. They specifically designed those for Attack of the Clones sets. And now they're in basically every version of those vehicles. They're like the best piece. The only issue with them is you really can't connect to the underside of them. Otherwise, this would be a really awesome dome. I know there's a way to do it. There was this guy I found on Instagram a while ago who also did a combat tri-droid and used that piece for the dome. And I think they ended up using a either a small Lego tire or just a bunch of rubber bands. And they were able to get it to be held in place, and it worked out pretty well. It's one of my favorite combat tri-droids I've seen besides my own. 1K is a Star Destroyer and 2K is a Dreadnought. Is that classification standards, even though those don't always make sense because there's certain ships that are labeled something that they shouldn't be, but they just are. I can't think of any examples off the top of my head, but I know I've seen ships before where it's like, it's called this, but it's actually this. And the reason it's called this is because it sounds cooler. It's like, oh, okay. You're not wrong. But are you right? On a different topic as well, I just realized the other day, I didn't put two together until building this destroyed by a Naboo starfighter or the starfighter getting destroyed by the Vulture droid. I didn't put two together until recently. Even though I've had both of those sets for quite a while. Although doing space scenes or doing scenes where ships are in the air as a Lego MOC is kind of difficult. Specifically space, because it's like, what are you gonna do for the background? It's just black. How do you build space? Classification standards work 90% of the time. Okay. Dreadnought class cruiser is kind of confusing, but it's a cruiser named Dreadnought and it's super old anyway. That's the one from Empire at War, right? Yeah, that must be the one I was thinking of, at least off the top of my head. Because yeah, it's called a Dreadnought, but it's actually just a cruiser. And yeah, it is super old. Isn't it from like the time of the Old Republic? And they're supposedly still using it during the Galactic Civil War. This old, beat up design still works somehow. Just trucking along, getting slugged at by who knows what. Yeah. I just remember those, especially in the Republic at War and other Republic Clone Wars related mods, just seeing the Dreadnoughts get slugged at by like Looper Hulks and crap. It's just like, the heck? How is this little ship doing so well? For the time being, and then like half of them would get destroyed by the end of the battle is over, and it's like, oh, okay. There goes like half this fleet because it's made up of just Dreadnoughts. The Delta 7. I recently learned of another ship that's called the Delta. It's a variant of the Lambda class that I was going to work on yesterday, but I didn't get to. It's like a Delta... It's called Delta class attack shuttle or something. It's another shuttle that only showed up in one game. Or no, it showed up in multiple games. But the funny thing about it is because of the way the game designers wanted it to work, in order for it to make sense in the game, they had to downgrade the Lambda class shuttle and remove like half the weaponry a normal Lambda would have, in order for this Delta class Lambda variant to actually make sense for gameplay. And unfortunately, the only image I found of it so far has this weird white and blue paint scheme to it. I'm not a fan of it, so I'm going to need to find another image to use for it, as a basis for it. There it is. I have that piece up there somewhere. Stuff is built to last. True. I forget which Star Wars YouTuber it was who mentioned this, but I kind of agree with them. I find the lack of progression in Star Wars designs is a little frustrating. To see that stuff in the Old Republic is still pretty similar to stuff in the Galactic Republic, and then stuff 140 years later is still pretty reminiscent of stuff used during the Galactic Civil War. It's like cool and all to see like, oh, they took this design, they still know about it, and they upgraded it and made a few changes, but I would like to see like more unique designs That said, I understand why they probably don't, because as a fellow artist and content creator, making something unique is really difficult. So just taking something that already exists and then just modifying it is way easier. Much easier to take something like the already existing TIE fighter and then just adding some stuff like, here's another set of wings. Oh, they bend outward. Oh, it also has increased firepower. It also goes faster. Boom. TIE Defender. It's cool, but seems lazy. Yeah. Aren't they still adding stuff to the old Republic games? I forget which one. The MMO one. Aren't they still adding stuff? Like they're constantly adding more speeder bikes and all that and stuff like that. So it's like when it from what I could tell from the last time I looked at it, they just keep adding designs that are highly reminiscent of stuff that you would see in the Galactic Civil War period or Clone Wars, and it's like, oh, how do they have this? The Delta 6. I'll have to look up what the Delta 6 is then. Is it pretty similar to the Delta 7, Noel? Or is it actually a massive jump between 6 and 7 as far as design is concerned? What am I going to do with all these old door pieces? I gotta figure out something to do with them. I know they're used in the old Pod Racer sets, especially specifically Anakin's Pod Racer. I wonder if they can be used in the other Pod Racer designs. Visually, they're fairly similar. Shame. Means it's not that unique to make and would probably get confused as a Delta 7, right? Which means trying to make it as a MOC would almost be pointless. Besides just, here you go, here's the Delta 6. I do have some pieces. I'm starting to get some pieces in random places that shouldn't be. And starting to create unnecessary piles because I'm just not paying that much attention. Welcome to the stream, Joshua. How are you doing? Oh, for anyone who's wondering, there should technically be text in that box under the words, or under the phrase now listening to. Since this is my first time streaming in a while, I kind of forgot all the things I had to do to get things set up, so yeah. I also don't remember like any of my hotkeys for my stream settings, so we're running a very bare bones stream today. I have to reteach myself what all my hotkeys are. Some of these piles are getting so big, I may have to stop getting stuff out of the container and actually put stuff away. Maybe. We're about 3/4 of the way done with this container though. Why don't you do both? Says that as like you would actually have the money to do both. I don't know. Do you want people to see your face or not? I mean, I guess technically you'd still see your face if someone asks you to take the helmet off of your Spartan armor, but yeah. Be no money. Yeah, so it would probably be good if you considered, would you want to have your face painted and stuff or not? If not, then you could probably go with the Spartan armor. It'd probably be better. If you're fine with your face being painted and stuff, maybe do a Savage Opress. I don't see too many people doing Opress. He didn't show up that often in Star Wars, but when he did, he was pretty cool. Until he died. Although he was going up against Sidious and he was like barely trained, so that makes sense. You can't always have someone who's barely trained become overpowered and defeat someone who's been training for years. Oh, I thought Oppress was much taller than that. Okay. Dang, that means Maul's cybernetic legs made him really tall, didn't they? I need to rewatch TCW too, because he gets those first legs, right? I mean, so after he has his spider legs, he then gets those legs from Talzin, which make him taller than Oppress, right? But then over the course of the rest of the series, his legs get shorter. Right? So by the time of Season 7, he's only slightly taller than Ahsoka, right? I need to rewatch that. I was always curious, like, why'd they make him shorter? They made him shorter over time. They made his legs more human-like. Or he could actually just, like, wear pants and stuff again. But, I don't know, I kind of like the cyber legs. He's 7'1". Wow. Look at the sequels. Oh, you caught on to what I was saying, Bup. Can't have a completely untrained character one up of character who's been training for years. What series, Joshua? What is OWK? I don't know what that is. I don't have a pile for this one piece? Oh, okay. I guess I'm still finding new pieces to make piles of. Okay. I guess I should probably also put the parts that are just chilling over here in here too. They're not being used at the moment. They were parts used for my TIE Defender that's been chilling in the corner, but now that I've turned that TIE Defender into the TIE Protector, I don't need those two pieces, because all they were used for was to keep the upper pair of wings on, but obviously you don't need those when doing the TIE Protector. Obi-Wan Kenobi. I enjoyed it. Unfortunately, I've been lazy and just still haven't watched Part 5 and Part 6 yet, but I've enjoyed it. And I've already been spoiled as to how it all goes, but at some point I'll finally sit down and watch the last two. Watch the last two parts. If I can get to it, I'll probably just watch both of them today. That way I can finally say I finished it. Can't kill the most powerful Sith without training yet. Really? Because I remember in TCW, Noel, that Maul was much taller. Well, maybe not much taller. He was like a head taller than Oppressed when he had his cyber legs. But yeah, if you're fine with your face being painted and stuff, you'd probably go with Savage. That'd be really cool to see. Maul was a Link. He was until like I think when did he come back? It was season 4, season 5, and I don't think he showed up in season 6. So season 5 and season 7 made him shorter. But when he was first introduced, yeah, he was a tall boy. The cyber legs they gave him made him really tall. But yeah, and then all I remember of like in season 7, he wasn't that much taller than Ahsoka, who I think was only like 5 foot something. Oh, did he? Is that how he gets his proper legs? Oh. Yeah, I don't remember that. So he only had the cyber legs for the season 4 then, and then had normal legs basically for the rest of it. Maul intentionally gave himself the high ground. He was always thinking about Kenobi. He was ready. He did. I mean, he and Opress almost defeated Kenobi. Almost in that tunnel on Fulcrum. What's the name of the planet with Honda on it? Hondo? Whatever. Yeah, they almost defeated him right there. Too bad he's got plot armor because we're doing the story out of order. But yeah, he almost defeated him. Alright, I'm gonna skip this one. I don't want old-timey music right now. That's fine, I guess. Huh? Oh, it's Florum. That's right. Does Kenobi actually have a fear of spiders? I don't think Kenobi actually ever saw Maul with spider legs. I think only like 3 people ever saw Spider Maul. And one of them was the snake dude, who then died. So, yeah. Something I did learn is, was it in Legends or in canon? I can't remember. But Sidious actually gifted the scimitar, Maul's ship, to Count Dooku apparently. Oh yeah, this must have been Legends, because then after the Clone Wars, Sidious then gifted the scimitar to some other fallen Jedi who became an Inquisitor, a Legends Inquisitor. And then apparently the scimitar, because it obviously never shows up again in any of the films and stuff, but the scimitar design was actually had a limited production, so there was a number of ships of it made. And apparently some of them went to pirates, some of them were used by, was it politicians and stuff? So it shows up more than once in the lore, just not in films. I really like the scimitar design. Apparently it's also one of the basis of the TIE Fighter design, which now that we've seen what the TIE Advance V1 looks like, I can kind of see it, because they both share that kind of really rounded wing design. But other than that, I don't really see it. The only other connection they really have is the fact that the scimitar was built by the same company as the TIE Fighters were. So, there's that. But it was just neat. I was just scrolling around trying to find stuff to design and learning more about the scimitar and how it got passed down. Although, like, I've never seen Dooku actually use it, so I don't know what story that's from. But Wikipedia at least says he had it, so I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it makes sense, I guess. Although Dooku had his Solar Sailor, and I don't know why you would want to use the scimitar if you got the Solar Sailor, with its elegance. The Legends Inquisitors. This kind of sounds like Polybridge, probably. He's got a fear of flying and a fear of spiders. What a loser. It'd make a fine addition to Dooku's collection. Yes. Do I really not have a pile for this piece? Nope, there it is. I'm just blind. We might actually empty this entire container on this stream. Wow. And then before I grab another container, I will spend some time and actually put this stuff away. So there's actually room for more stuff. Who was the main Inquisitor in Legends? No, isn't it the guy with like the black band around his eyes because he was blind. Isn't he like the Grand Inquisitor of Legends? I don't remember what his name is. But he's like the only Inquisitor that really comes to mind when I think of the Legends ones. Because isn't he like the main antagonist to Kyle Katarn? And the oh, what are those games called now? I want to say Jedi something, but that doesn't seem right. That is true. It had like the best stealth capacities. Specifically, now that I remember it, doesn't it have that ability in Battlefront 2? EA Battlefront 2? Scimitar? You can stealth around. I have a pile for this. I'm also skipping this song because it just sounds like that instrument is dying. Alright, fine. I'll listen to this, I guess. I don't know if that command works. I think that command might be broken. You're gonna pull a Filoni. Yeah, this song is called Sunflower Dance Party, so yeah, it's gonna be a little overly happy apparently. But it's definitely better than the dying violin. Oh yeah, we're almost done. There's only like 5 pieces left in this container. Nice. Then I gotta find the homes for all the stuff. Or at least majority of it. Ah, jumper plates, there you are. Oh, thank you for the reminder, yes. I should have been taking a drink this whole time, but I forgot. So today's drink is not actually vitamin water, it's this new Blast stuff. This flavor is pineapple mango. It's flavored water. As far as I can tell, not made by Nestle. So, I'm gonna drink it. Yes, non-copyright music is whack sometimes. That is true. People make the weirdest stuff and they're like, here you go. You can have this one for free. You can play this one whenever you want, and you're just like, no. Never again. Potato. Oh, my PC's gonna blow up now. I have a home, or I guess I don't. Okay. Oh, that's fine. I got 2 pieces left, and I can take this container off the table. Yeah, I don't think any of the commands work anymore. Like I said, we're running a very low-budget, scuffed stream today. Yeah. Yeah, even the lurk command doesn't work, and that one was like the go-to for a while there. But yeah, if you like flavored water and don't like Nestle, I would recommend the Splash stuff. As far as I can tell, they're not associated to Nestle. So. And if you don't know why I'm negative against Nestle, you should look it up. Alrighty, time to actually put stuff away, which may not actually be that visible on stream because half these containers are off camera. Just because of the way everything got set up. But I do actually now have access to the majority of my slopes now because I got 2 more Acromil containers that has basically the rest of my normal slopes. It has a decent amount of my inverted slopes, and it has the wedge slopes in there too. I say Nestle or Nestle, I guess. I go back and forth. Isn't there like an accent on the E? That's probably why, because when it's just written normally, there's no accent, so I just say Nestle. Yeah. I'm talking about Nestle, whatever. Can't afford the good music. It was part of my budget cuts. Yes. Where does the T go? I guess it's silent. Which I hate silent letters. Silent letters are the bane of my existence. Which is funny because my own name has silent letters in it, but it's whatever. But I do really dislike the silent letters. I also kind of wish in English we'd use accent marks more often when we're writing to make it more obvious as to how something is pronounced. Just like you do in German and French and Spanish and stuff, they have the accent marks that actually give you an indication of how this word is actually supposed to be said. Whereas in English, you just kind of have to already know. You're gonna have to hear the word first, and then you'll always know how it's supposed to be said. Unless that person says it wrong the first time, then you're just screwed, I guess. Playground insults. The supreme kind of comedy. I don't know, I struggle in that word too for some reason. That's way more complicated to learn. If you don't want more letters. Yeah. Because you can just reuse the same letter and then just put an accent and boom, you have a different sound. But that's true, that would probably also make learning another language probably more difficult because now you got more stuff to learn, but English is already kind of a broken language, so it's okay. These go over here somewhere, I think. I thought they did. Are they right here? Aha! Found them. Was extremely blind for a second there. Wow. Because that's one issue. If I want to comfortably get to some of these containers, I gotta stand up, but then for other ones I gotta sit down, so. It is a toss-up. I think these ones go in here. Please let this be the right container. I don't want to have to lean over and then die. Alright, there we go. It's stupid. TH, yeah. Yield. English is weird. Let's see, where do these ones go? I know I have a container for them. It may be full though. Let's see. Yeah, that one's basically full. Which gives me an excuse to finally use these 1x4 modified bricks that have the slit in them to finally make like elevators and stuff. Or like different walkways and stuff that slide. Always wanted to, just haven't. Always felt like I never had enough, but now that I finally have them all organized in one spot, I can clearly see that I have quite a few. Is this my container? Is it empty? Oh no, okay. A different container that's just empty. Neat. I guess. Is that what that symbol is called? Is it called thorn? That's a interesting name for that symbol. Drop pieces left and right. It's complicated and it's in my primary language. True. Just start saying stuff and sound confident. No one will question you. That's how to be successful at life right there. There's Cornplay's tip of the day. Where did I end up putting that? Did I put it on the floor or something? There's a bag full of 1x2 transparent bricks, and I forget where I put it. Oh, is this my arch container? Yes, it is. Okay, cool. And then these are just more clip pieces. Which I think I have, yeah, have them scattered everywhere because I wasn't paying attention. Oh, yep, there's more of them right there. And these ones, oh, okay, they go on the bottom one. Cool. Are you saying English is intuitive, Joshua? Because I would disagree with that, but... yeah, I would disagree. Sometimes English is not very intuitive, but since it is my primary language as well, it does seem to be pretty intuitive. But it's also because we've been learning it since basically the day we were born, so it will hopefully get easier over time. Do I not have these up over there? I thought I did. Or am I just looking in the wrong spot? Are they actually down here somewhere? Oh, yeah, there they are. I knew I had them sorted somewhere. The slit pieces that go into those 1x4s I was talking about earlier, I knew I had a spot for them. But apparently it's in a slightly different location than I first thought. Getting a bunch of these hinge bricks back is nice. I'm gonna need a lot of them for the homing spider droid from TCS. It uses a lot. The designers of that game used a lot of hinge bricks for that design. Which makes sense though. At the time, there were not that many curved pieces in LEGO. Where are the headlight bricks? Aha, there they are. The unfortunate thing is there's some pieces on this table I would really love to have a container for, but I don't have the space for another container. So they have to go in the bags that are underneath my bed. but I don't want to pull those out because also all these cords and stuff for my microphone and for the webcam and stuff are in the way, and I don't want to die. I don't want to trip and fall and then have stuff break, so I'll just have to leave those on the table for now. It looks like I'm able to take care of most of the stuff that's on here, which is good. I'm glad I picked the good container, because the other containers need to be sorted, but they have a lot of parts that require being stored in bags instead of in my containers. So those ones are going to be more of a hassle to put away. Alright, Maul, thanks for hanging out, my guy. Thanks for being here for basically the whole stream. Hope to see you around again. Have a great day. Do I have these up there too? I should if I don't. Do I really not have them up here anymore? Oh. Nope, those are the wrong ones again too. Huh. Why is this one empty? Why do I still have empty containers? Makes no sense. I want to maximize the amount of stuff I have stored. Why do I still have empty containers? Buffet. Why is it the only one that's coming to mind? Do I have food on the break? As soon as you wrote that, no, I started to think of words that weren't spelt phonetically. Although I guess buffet is pretty phonetically, it just has a silent T. There are other words. Rendezvous. Huh. I guess that one is somewhat phonetically, it just has at least a silent S at the end. Why are all the examples I can think of, as soon as I say them, they actually do sound phonetically? Or they are somewhat spelled phonetically. Huh. Okay. Not just some words, all of it. Do I have a container for these ones? If I do, where is it? There it is. Do I have room for them now, though? Barely. Okay. Let's see. Panels I have room for. I just have to get to it. I need to use panels more often. I have a decent amount of them, and they take up a decent amount of space when needed. I just forget about them all the time. I have a container for this too. Where is it though? There it is. Let's see. Those don't go in a container. I do not have a slot for them out here yet. All of these small toe ball connection bits do have a container though. Though, because I have so few of them, I can probably reorganize those, because these days if a couple of pieces are pretty similar and just like a little different, and I have a very small amount of them, I'll combine them all into one container and just put the unique ones, the variant ones, in a bag and then just shove it in that drawer. I should do that for those, because I do not have that many of them, and that would give me 4. That would give me 4 containers back that I can then just shuffle around, and then I have 4 more, up to 4 more unique parts I can sort. Let me do that. Let me do that real quick. Yeah, because I do not have that many of these. And that gives me, yeah, that gives me a whole 4 more containers to use. Yeah. And then at some point, if I ever get a ton of them, I will sort them back out, but there's so little of them. Yikes. love how chat has just gone from anything of a Lego strain to we're just talking about languages now. Let's see, do I have any more small bags lying around? I do. Are these too small though? This might be pushing it. Oh, some of these are in the wrong container. Okay, just one piece in each was wrong? Okay. Where did that just go? No! No, I lost the piece to the floor. No! No! Well, hopefully I'll find that piece at some point. Okay, so that bag worked pretty well for that, so it should work for that one too, if I can find another one lying around. Well, that's like my big issue. I recently, like, condensed a bunch of stuff, so I got a bunch of bags back, especially when sorting out all my slopes into the new Acrobo containers. But, I also have no idea where, like, any of my bags are now. Ooh, this bag is... Oh, this bag is even smaller. I don't think this one's gonna work. That one's even smaller. That one's too big. Too small. Too small, too big. Okay, this one should work. Right, Bub? Right? Don't you just hate when the floor steals your parts? Especially when you're building a set and you need that part and it's not just one of the freebies Lego gives you. Could you just compound Latin or Greek into something and make a new word? Doesn't that happen like all the time in German, Noel? Isn't there like a ton of compound words that they use? Because it just makes life easier. Like, aren't there like whole phrases that are just this compounded words, so it's actually just one word now? Oh, by the way, Noel, how are your exams going? Are you doing well in those? Just put words together without a space. Doesn't that technically make it into a brand new word, though? Okay, the floor almost stole another part, but this time I can actually see where it went. Nice. I now have 4 more containers I can use. Oh. If my jumper plate container wasn't already so full and so small, excuse me, I could probably combine some more stuff together too, but too much about that one doesn't make sense to combine, that one doesn't make sense to combine. Yeah, I guess these other ones I can't really combine. But I can at least now shuffle stuff around, I'm pretty sure, and I now have 4 more slots. I think. It might be the case that I have a lot of shifting I have to down do because of what I just did. Because I can't remember if when I get to... If I get to this piece in Studio, this like cobweb bracket well, not brackets, clip piece. If I get to that, if it then switches over to the stuff that's in a different container or not. Because if that's the case, I have a lot of emptying and refilling of containers to do just so I can better utilize these 4. But I expected that to happen at some point with me combining and shifting stuff around. That especially since these containers right here are a different brand than the ones over here. So they don't interchange as easily as obviously if they were all the same brand. Do I not have a container for these, or no, it's just in a different spot than I thought. Okay. Neat. Ah, I see. Okay. Interesting. So I can just get away with making words by if I just hyphen stuff? Good to know. Time to hyphen everything. Still got a few more pieces lying around that I can actually put away in minutes. Let's see. This one goes in there. Oh. This is just another panel that I apparently missed from before. Oh, these are those toe ball pieces, but these ones don't need to go in the bag. Nice. Oh, these ones go in here. These ones I think go in a bag, right? Yeah. Time to hyphen everything. Cut my word count down to 1. Can I put these other brackets away? Do I have space? Yeah, I do. I did for that one. Oh, I guess I do. Okay. Because that's true. I just remember there are a few other unsorted storage containers I can technically sort. They're technically sorted, just not well, in a sense. So I should probably work on those at some point too. Let's see, is there anything else on this table that I can actually put away? A couple of remaining axles and pins, I guess. A couple more brackets over here. A couple more pins over here that I just totally forgot about. Another bracket that's just in the wrong spot. Okay. Technically these lightsaber pieces will go somewhere else. But half a paragraph is a single word. Oh, that's right. No, I just put those in the wrong spot. I just moved those. Ah. Well, those are lost in there forever, I guess. I recently just shifted one of my containers around that contains all my minifigure stuff to a different spot, and I just forgot. Neat. Alright, another panel that I forgot about. Oh, it goes right here. Let's see. Anything else on this table? These can go away if there's room, which I don't think there really is. Let's see. Okay, there is. Barely. What? That's their name? That's a long name. Let's see. I think I have a container for these. Oh, I do have a container for those. Some slug pieces I totally forgot about. Do I have a container for these? Oh, I guess not. I guess those are considered tiles. So no, I do not. Okay. Let's see. This does have a home. These pneumatic tube pieces. And then I think that's it. Oh, actually this piece can get sorted. I just gotta remember where it goes. This one? Yes. Let's see. Are there any more brand? Oh, there's more brackets just chilling here. Okay. Are there any more hinge pieces just lying around? Not that I can tell. So I think that is... Oh, this one's just in the wrong spot. I think that's everything. Oh, that one's in the wrong spot too. Yeah, I guess that's everything. Alright, so... that'll... Oh, these are in the right spot. So I'll probably end the stream in like 5 minutes then, just because... we already went for like 2 hours. I was only planning on going for like 2 hours for this stream. And I will take care of sorting the rest of the stuff later when I can take down my streaming setup to make it more safe in here for me to actually get my containers out. So yeah, we can just hang out for a couple more minutes. I guess while we're just hanging out, I'll move the tie protector more into view so you guys can check it out more. It is essentially just a tie defender without the top pair of wings, which is an interesting look. It kind of looks like if you wanted to have it on display for a while, you would need a stand, because the cockpit is kind of... I think it's kind of bending the axle I used. I might need to redo that model and strengthen that area. Or just make a note on Rebrickable and say you need a stand. Are any of you guys going to get the new sets August 1st or whenever they release? I don't think I will, but I am interested in the ATT. The Justifier seems dumb, price-wise. The minifigures are cool. The ship itself is interesting, but yeah, the price tag on that bad boy is dumb. What other Star Wars sets are coming out? I guess there's also the Obi-Wan, the Kenobi versus Vader duel thing, which is silly. The minifigures on it are okay. Apparently there's an issue with the printing of Kenobi's crotch. His robe is printed a little too low on it. The 4+ Endor set actually intrigues me because it gives you a decent amount of stuff. The minifigures in it are actually pretty good. Another way of getting the new Scout Trooper. Another way of getting that new Imperial Officer helmet piece. And the little tree build is whatever. And the ATST little build is actually not that bad. I could see ways of using those parts, especially the sand blue that's in it. I believe it's 35 though. 35 bucks for a 4+ set. Seems dumb. Seems like a dumb price. But we'll see. It's a scam? What? You talking about the ATTE, Joshua, or the Justifier? What? I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember. Is the Saber Tank like an anomaly? Like, did it not come out during a wave of sets? Did it just come out as a one thing? The prices in general? Yeah. The ATTE price is somewhat justifiable, I guess. It has more stuff in it. and inflation, because I remember the ATT back in 2013, that set was, so I think of all of the Star Wars sets, that one has the most reasonably priced for it, but the other ones are just is it not? Is there other themes nowadays that are more expensive, Noel? Because I swear the Star Wars one is the most expensive. Maybe that's not the case anymore, though. Is it really? Because maybe Lego City sets are more expensive than I thought these days. Because, yeah, last time I looked at Lego City, they were like the cheapest things ever. It could be they just don't give you that many pieces, but they're also like the cheapest sets I've ever seen. Because Lego can do whatever they want with those ones. Except apparently make the Osprey. Price per piece wise? Gotcha. If you can hear a little clicking noise, I'm playing with this tiny Lego mailbox that I just had off to the side. Marvel. Yeah, that makes sense. The licensed themes are the more expensive ones, of course. They border number 2. That makes sense. Is the DC theme not that expensive then compared to those two? Is it like the 3rd or something? Oh, I just realized I had a couple more hinge pieces on here. Let me put these ones away. Let's see. Where is the slot for these ones? Right here. Alrighty. Cool. I'll probably end the stream here then. Thank you all for joining. My name has been Clone Plays. This was a blast. I hope to do another sorting stream soon-ish. Hopefully you can expect more YouTube content out of me soon as well. Remember, every clone has